Have you seen everything happening with the Cincinnati Bengals, AJ? It legitimately feels like their team is tight. That T. Higgins thing could have potentially been a situation. Jamar Chase, not getting paid yet, could potentially be a situation. Joey Burrow obviously misses some OTAs, coming back with a wrist injury, could be a situation. Instead, it's complete opposite. I have nothing but faith in this Cincinnati Bengals team going into this year. Do you feel the exact same way? And have you seen Joey Burrow over at Paris Fashion Week beating the shit out of people in chess? I like that there's a big, dumb American football player cooking people in Paris in chess, the consummate, sophisticated game, whatever it is.
Yeah, this is cool to see, but you're right. When you have contract situations, especially with receivers, like a lot of times it'll end up okay, but it'll turn nasty for a little bit. And I've never sensed anything of that with the Bengals and Jamar and T. Higgins and everything. Everyone seems to understand where they're at. And they probably feel like, hey, this is our year. Let's go win a Super Bowl right now. This is our time.
I think it's because of his leadership, too. I think Joey Burrow, great leader. I think he is a phenomenal leader. You see, obviously, what happens at LSU whenever he gets there as a transfer out of Ohio State when he couldn't get on the field. And then he gets to Cincinnati, and everybody kind of knows he's the guy. He takes his hits. He takes his lumps. Everybody loves him. He seemingly never says anything dumb.
No.
Like, ever. No. In any situation. He is the perfect guy to be the Cincinnati Bengals quarterback, which leads us to this, Pac-Man Jones, who obviously lives in a city very close to the Bengals. Is it Super Bowl or bust? Is that what everybody's thinking?
Of course it's
Super Bowl or bust.
It is Super Bowl or bust.
Doesn't that suck right now? Because Patrick Mahomes is in the AFC East and or in the AFC, and then every other team that's in the AFC, it's stacked. Like, this is not a good time to be Super Bowl or bust in the AFC.
Super Bowl or bust because we the only one have Patrick Mahomes' number. Joe the only one beat him 2 times at home. So if we can stay healthy, I think we'll be really good on the back end. We're getting Geno from Baltimore. With Luke Holland, the defense. I think we'll be really good if we can stay healthy. If we stay healthy, we should make it at least to the championship or the Super Bowl.
Isn't that wild? Nobody else really outside of Cincinnati is talking about Cincinnati being Super Bowl or bust. Wow. But it is a legitimate feel. Like, it is, and it makes sense why they would feel that way. Just a few years back, they're in there. And if Aaron Donald isn't Aaron Donald, there's a chance Joe hits Chase on that.
Yeah.
And the Cincinnati wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And the Los Angeles Rams do not. It's wild to think that we're not that far removed from that entire thing.
Well, in there, I feel like there are teams that are realistic about it. Like, that is a realistic expectation. Then there are other teams like the Buffalo Bills where you want to be a Super Bowl team, but like you can't go that far. But you can probably throw Houston in there now too because of what Houston's done. Like, Houston, even though it's only D'Amico's second year and CJ's second year, like, I'm assuming they're Super Bowl or bust, especially with the moves they made. Like, they got Joe
Real
Mixon.
quick, in locker room, always Super Bowl or bust.
For sure.
Joe Thomas even mentioned after he retired for the Browns, every year that he went into the season, even the years where they went winless, he thought they had a chance to win a Super Bowl. Like, players have to. Nick.
Got a point.
Players have to have that belief. Now, there's a few weeks into this season, and you start looking around, and you go, we ain't got it.
Yeah.
We ain't got it here. But I'm talking like fans thinking like Super Bowl or bust.
Yeah.
And Cincinnati feels like everybody's on the same page there.
It's a new standard. I grew up close to Cincinnati, a Bengals fan. There were some bad times. There were some rough times. You go to a game in Cincinnati back in the day, and fans are yelling that they want an aquarium, tear the stadium down. We don't want this thing anymore. Like, that's how it used to be back in the day, I think. So the fact that they've changed the standard, and once you've elevated to where that's what it is, like Foxy knows that as a Lions fan. He's not just saying, hey, I just want to get to let's get a playoff win. That'd be amazing. No, like, they've reset where they are as a franchise.
100%. Super Bowl or bust for the Lions. I never thought we would be here, but after seeing what we did last year, the team only got better. We got to win the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Got to do it.
And teams, fans, 4 teams, they changed during the year. Like, the Jets start 6-0. Obviously, right now, people in New York, who knows what they think, but I assume that they would just be happy with going to the playoffs and winning the playoff game. If the Jets start 6-0, those Jets fans are going to start saying, okay, Super Bowl or bust. Like, this is it. This is our
Just like
year.
they did last year.
Bingo. Yeah.
Whenever it was all getting started going into the year, that was the belief, that was the hope in Miami. Are you guys Super Bowl or bust with the Dolphins?
I mean, shit, everybody else says, Super Bowl or bust.
Not everybody. Not everybody.
Colts are not Super Bowl or bust.
Patriots are not Super Bowl.
Colts are not Super Bowl or bust. I think Colts fans have a realistic expectation that this is Anthony Richardson's rookie year. True. And if we make to the playoffs, win a playoff game, holy hell, let's roll. And I don't want to say we're anywhere near how the Detroit Lions fans felt, because I think with Shane Steichen, we're not going to feel that way for long. But with what happened to Anthony going into this year, I think there is a very natural, like, we could still have a good year without, when we can progress. And
You're in a great spot. I think you're in a great spot, don't you think? Because it's not Super Bowl or bust, but it's like, hey, like, we could actually enjoy these wins now. It's not like, hey, how are we going to do in the playoffs? Because once you set that standard towards Super Bowl or bust, the regular season, you can get excited for, like, yeah, let's see how we play when it matters. I feel like with the Colts, you can actually enjoy the season. Like you can enjoy a hard-fought win in week 7.
And it's not good to get to this point as a fan base, because like with Peyton and Andrew Luck and everything, it was in the first couple years there with Phillip Rivers and Carson Wentz and
Matt
Ryan. Like that was still the Colts fans. Like, hey, we got a lot of like the Colts back in the day. Colts stink, got it. But since there was a sheriff that came along, there's a statue outside now. We're playing for Super Bowls. We're playing just like everybody else. We're trying to get there. So we have been, I don't want to say Colts fans have been beaten down, but Colts fans have been beaten down almost to the point where it's like, all right, let's refine ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
And let's have a little bit of progress. So it's like if we were to win the Super Bowl, Colts fans would be incredibly surprised and jacked. But if we were to win a playoff game, I think just like how the Houston Texans felt this past year with the rookie quarterback, it's like, hey, I like where we're headed right now. So it seems like there's feels like there's probably two different looks at the
If you have your quarterback in place, like you got a quarterback that's making 50 plus, obviously Lamar, Burrow, all these guys, Hurts in Philly. Like if you're in those situations, I feel like golf in Detroit, you're in that situation. Even Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay is kind of probably 6 games away from next season. All right, we don't win the Super Bowl this year, we're disappointed. But if you got those things in place,
Dallas,
for sure, Dallas, I feel like every year for them.